Hi there, I'm Mahibi and welcome to this masterclass mini course on communicating like a leader. So, in this mini course, we're going to be looking at 5 videos that's going to support you to elevate your communication skills and communicate like a leader. So, let's have a look what's in store. What is it that you're going to learn across the videos, across the modules in this mini course? So, what we are looking to do is baseline what it is we're looking for when we are effectively communicating. So, I'm going to share with you the fundamentals of what that looks and feels like. So, you can set the foundation, create a baseline to then work from that. And then ultimately, I'm going to be taking you on a journey to understand that communications is not just about being outcome or goal led. We're moving away from just being focused on the content of the messaging to actually your style, and also understanding that when we are human centered, we are actually causing a shift in someone's mindset, their emotions, their feelings. So that's going to be the focus on how we can move away from just being skill led to style led, really understanding how we take people on a journey with the communications to evoke a mindset and a feeling shift. The key takeaways, there's 3 that I would like you to focus on as your takeaways from the course. So the first one is that your values reflect in your communications. We see communications, we don't just hear it. So that's why I share this concept or idea that communications isn't just about what it is we're hearing or the content that we're communicating. When you are communicating, it's a behavior. So, what you are communicating and how you behave in your communications actually reflects and mirrors certain core values. So, we're going to do an exercise later in this video to identify what core values resonate with you. The second key takeaway is that communicating like a leader is being human centered. So we're focusing on the person or the persons, the group, the audience to understand how we take them on a shift from the start to the end of our communications. And the third takeaway is this powerhouse skill of active listening. So we think about communications as a one-way thing, me communicating to you today. If I'm sitting down with someone and having a conversation and communicating with them, I have to hone in on my skill of active listening, because active listening or active noticing is the powerhouse skill of leaders who communicate and connect with people. So we're going to deep dive in that as well. So let's look at the 5 modules that we will be covering across this masterclass mini course. So the first one is this video. We're going to set the foundations of our expectations and identify your core values, which you're going to use across the videos, and I'll explain that a bit more later on. We're then going to look at module 2, video 2, which looks at the fundamentals. So I'm going to share with you the 13 fundamental elements or considerations when we think about setting that baseline of effective communications. So let's get that right and then start building from that. So in the third video, I'm going to share with you this shift into being human-centered. What is the secret in doing that? How do you do it? So I'm also going to share with you a 7-part tool that will allow you to plan your communications effectively. The fourth video is then looking at how you become a storyteller. The best leaders communicate in stories. It's our oldest form of communication. It's written on the walls in the caves. So let's understand how we can unlock the storyteller within us to take people on a change journey. Because whenever we're implementing process or we're collaborating, what we are doing is going from an as-is present state to something else. So how do leaders communicate change and take people on that journey? And then the last module, really important, a great roundup, we're going to understand that actually what we are working towards is building trusted relationships. When we communicate as leaders, we're not focusing just on that content piece. We are building relationships along the way, and we're doing that over the longer term. So The active listening skill or the powerhouse value is going to support you to unlock how you can build trusted relationships in the organizations you work with, in your personal life. And I'm going to share with you the 6 key aspects of active listening and actually how they elevate communication so that you can start connecting all of these pieces here. So let's set or align our expectations and then do a deep dive or short exercise on your values. So I feel it's really important that you understand what you're getting yourself into, right? With this mini course, this masterclass on communicating like a leader. So I have 3 ways of learning. The first one is knowledge based. I want you to come out learning something new. So this is not, necessarily secrets that are hidden in the internet, but I feel that these are things that might be overlooked or you might not have necessarily thought about or reflected on, or it might be a new perspective. So I want you to come out with something new. I also want you to feel that this is helpful or practical for you. So I'm going to provide you some guidance and some frameworks along the way. And we are also going to do some reflective exercises. The whole point of us learning is to expand our self-awareness. And it's super important that you can see where you are now and actually where you want to get to and how big or small this gap is. So that's also going to support you to identify what your development points are. Actually, what are the elements of, say, active listening you want to work on and are really important to you because they resonate with the core values you identified in this video. So we're going to be connecting all of the modules together and stitching them to understand how to communicate like a leader. But that reflective piece is really important because it's not just about coming into a lecture and coming out with something. It's really about reflecting on what it is you're learning, how you feel about yourself as a leader, and also how you start to notice what is happening around you, because what we are doing is expanding your self-awareness within the environments that you work in. So I want us to take a pause just for a few minutes. So feel free to hit this pause button and write down your expectations. What is it that you're looking to learn and take away from this masterclass mini course on communicating like a leader? So I'll let you hit that pause button, take a few minutes and write down your expectations. Okay, so you've got your expectations written down. Let's have a look at how we can connect core values to communicating like a leader. So why is it important? Communication is not just a thing that we need to do to get to an outcome, because that's just content led, right? You could just send out an email. We could just put bulletins up on boards in the office. It would just be about the content itself. But communication is a behavior. And therefore, if communication is a behavior, people see behavior and they respond to it. We don't want them to react to it, but we want people to see certain qualities within us as we're communicating and then respond in a way which could support us. And if it's not supporting the outcome we're looking for, we become curious, we ask questions, we are empathetic, we want to understand. I come back to this piece that values are mirrored in our behavior. So if we have core values that are important to us, and we can see and feel that our communication style doesn't align to those core values, then something is not working here. And you might need to pull on some courage to start doing the things that you feel you need to do. But here we're connecting that behavior is, communicating like a leader is a behavior in that it's 91% of this communication skill. 9% is the content. So if 91% is the act of communicating, it means it must be a behavior, and we can adopt a style which suits the core values that not only we feel and see, but also resonate with other people, especially when we're thinking about the outcome here is that we want to build longer term relationships and we want to onboard people on a journey to some change. So identifying your core values, as I've said before, is going to be a really important aspect of this to see where you are now and identify those gaps. The key message really here around the core values is that your communication style is going to determine whether you are seen as a leader. You can feel it, you can want to be a leader, but ultimately, leadership is also about perception. And we know how impactful and powerful it is when people see us, when we feel heard. And so, this piece around effectively communicating is actually understanding how you can shape your leadership skin. How can you shape your communication style? So, we're going to take another pause so that you can do an exercise just for 5 minutes or so to go through these core values. And I invite you to pick out your top 5 core values. Now, I could spend hours doing this with a client, and I'm giving you 5 minutes. But what I'm going to guide you to do is actually just connect with values that are really jumping out at you. So, actually, is honesty really a core value for you when you think about your leadership style? When you connect your leadership style to how you are behaving when you are communicating? Is this about courage? Perhaps it's evoking courage in others to take action in change. Is it about showing respect? Is it about being fair and ethical? Is this about trust, building long-term trusted relationships with people across the business? So hit that pause button, take some time to go through the core values and pick out your 5 core values that resonate for you. Okay, welcome back. We're wrapping up. So let's have a look at what we've covered today. So the key takeaways: values are reflected in your communication style and therefore who you are as a leader. Being human-centered is going to be the key to unlocking how you communicate as a leader, and active listening is going to be your powerhouse skill when we look at elevating your communication style. We've set expectations. I've shared with you how the 3 parts to how I see we can learn to support us and grow along this mini course. And you've written down your expectations. Keep those to one side. When you finish the course, have a look at whether it's met or surpassed your expectations. And finally, we've done a short exercise and we've talked through a little bit about how values are really important because they mirror and reflect what's happening in our communications, and also it can reflect how we want people to feel. So you've got your top 5 values as well, and keep those with you along the course and see if they're connecting in some way and how they are building into your leadership style and ultimately your communication style as well. So finally, welcome. You've completed your first masterclass, and I look forward to seeing you in the fundamentals. So that's Masterclass 2. I'll see you there.